Hey guys, I will be talking about alcohol through the eyes of the church, and this will tend to be a very sensitive subject, so I'll try to be as sensitive as possible. But you all know me, I'm not exactly a sensitive person, so um, throughout the course of this video, you will be hearing opinions of alcohol through various people of modern day society, such as a child, a college student, and an adult. You'll also be hearing from Father Shealy, who, as you guys know, is a man of the church, and that is why his opinion is so important, because we know what we believe alcohol to be, but we don't exactly know what their opinion on it is. And that'll be a very essential part in this presentation here. And this presentation isn't supposed to scare you into staying away from alcohol forever. It isn't supposed to, like, um, destroy your hopes, dreams, whatever. Alcohol can be a good thing. It can also be very dangerous. This video is going to show you the pros and the cons. That's all this video is for. Anyway, the church mostly believes alcohol you can drink, but you should drink in moderation. Moderation I will explain a little bit later in this video. The church basically believes you can drink wine, that's fine, and you can drink beer, but you shouldn't drink excessively. That's basically what moderation means. And a lot of people do that, but some do not. I will explain later. And alcohol is often mentioned throughout the Bible. You probably would expect that a little bit, but you might not. Alcohol. Back then, during the early times, food and water wasn't exactly healthy. Food had a lot of bacteria in it, and so did water, so they would wash it in alcohol in order to sterilize and clean it a little bit. And also, back then, the drinking age, actually they didn't really have a drinking age, but it was a lot lower. Like, you would start when you were about 14. And such as Joseph and Mary, they were very young. Joseph drank. Okay. First, we will be looking at the opinion of a child of alcohol. Her name is Elizabeth. She is about 12 years old. So here we go.
Um, I don't know. Like, like, I think it's okay to have a beer every once in a while, but, you know, and then there's people that are like alcoholics. That's bad. So, yeah.
Okay, Elizabeth was very insightful. She talked about two things. She didn't really say much. Um, she did say that it's okay to have a beer every once in a while, which it is. She also talked about something called an alcoholic. An alcoholic is basically a person who doesn't know when to stop drinking. They they drink a lot. They excessively drink. They don't do it in moderation. They don't do it like once in a while. They do it all the time. There's an alcoholic I know. I'm not going to name him or her, but they go to the bar and drink a lot of alcohol, and they do not leave until the bar is actually closed. And this has actually torn many families apart. Alcohol does tear people apart. Like one spouse doesn't drinks alcohol excessively, and the other spouse does not want to do that, so the other spouse leaves. And that has happened a multitude of times. But there are many good things to it as well, such as you can hang out with your buddies for a little while. Like guys drinking alcohol, watching the game, that's not a bad idea. That's actually a very good thing, because sometimes you don't get to see it all the time. One thing more, alcohol is a depressant. It nulls the mind. That's why a lot of people do really stupid stuff when they're under the impression of alcohol. And people like this because it's sort of like a stress reliever. When people think, when people are stressed out by their daily lives, they might drink a sip of alcohol because it can relax them a little bit. Okay, now we will be listening to a college student. Her name is Riley. She's 19 years old. She goes to West Virginia University, and the West Virginia University is the #1 party school in America. And they actually have a lot of alcohol and a lot of people who drink alcohol on campus. And there was this one story Riley told me about alcohol where these guys were drinking at a party, and they didn't exactly know what they were doing at the time, so they lit a couch on fire outside, and some guys from college, the campus police, caught them and took them to the dean's office, and they were expelled. Colleges are cracking down on drinkers in college. A few weeks ago, I was visiting my sister at college because it was Easter break, and while I was driving, I had my cousin in the car. We had to pass through a DUI checkpoint, and they thought I was a college student, and they had to breathalyze me and test my. They basically had to make me do a DUI randomized test, and I asked them why they did this, and they said because there's a lot of college drinkers in this town, and we want to make sure that they're off the roads and not doing anything stupid. And a lot of people have actually ruined their lives because they drank in college, and they couldn't do much about it. That's probably how McDonald's happened.
Okay, now let's get back to the college student video because I'm starting to ramble here. Sorry about that.
I don't know. Everybody's different. It really depends. I go to WVU, West Virginia University, which is like supposedly the #1 party school in the country or in the U.S. And there are lots of people who go out every night, and then there are lots of people who don't. There are some people who just go out when they want to. It really depends on the person. It's not an overall thing that you can really just generalize. And for me, alcohol is fine in moderation. I don't really like alcohol. I don't really like getting drunk because I don't like losing control of myself. But that's just me in particular. Alcohol is fine. You can drink it, having a beer, it's fine. But, I just don't like going overboard. I get in trouble. So, yeah, but like I said, everybody's different. You can't really generalize, just college students in general.
Believe it or not, Riley actually did say some very good points, such as you do have a choice. You always have a choice in basically everything we do, and this is kind of tying into morality as well. Extra credit. Anyway, she talked about moderation, and she talked about having a choice. The choice is you don't have to drink. You don't have to put yourself into the situation where you can get in trouble. If you know that you're going to do bad things when you drink, you should not do it. At least you should be monitored. Now we're going to look at my father's opinion. He is an adult. He is 47 years old. He has been drinking alcohol for the past 20 years. And I hope you find his wisdom to be very insightful. Because I know I do, and he's the main reason I stay away from it.
Alcohol is one of those things that you need to basically have some toleration or realization or whatever that it can be a bad thing, and therefore belief people or whatever need to basically understand what it does, what it can do, and sort of like plan around it or whatever if they're going to use it. I personally think that it's something or whatever that should be available to people. It's a nice way of creating social atmospheres between people, so it has a lot of benefits in regards to helping people interact with each other that they may not normally do. But it also has a lot of bad side effects, and therefore that's where the planning piece comes into play. So like for example or whatever will hamper your ability to drive and a variety of other things or whatever. So you need to basically plan your life or plan your time if you're going to use it or whatever, so that you make sure that you're not driving anywhere or doing anything that can put either your life or other people's lives in jeopardy. So, and that's about it. I enjoy it very much myself. So, but like I said, he's basically believe very much in the current ads of today, where basically they're saying drink responsibly. That's kind of like what I'm saying about the planning parts and things like that. You need to be very responsible with it. So, and that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that was my father. He talked about alcohol in an adult's opinion. And this opinion is very important. And I'm going to tell you now why it is important. because my father, he has been around for 47 years, so he knows what alcohol can do to people. He's been drinking for 20 years himself. He knows how to do it correctly. He knows how to drink correctly and to live through drinking, because drinking is generally accepted in modern day society. My father said himself, alcohol should be available to people. And our society says today that alcohol in and of itself is not dangerous. It's just the people that drink it are dangerous. And most people of modern day society will agree with that. The church agrees with that, as I told you at the beginning. The significance of this particular interview is my father, he is an older person than a lot of other people he knows, and he actually sees the effects of alcohol often. He has seen our generation, a younger generation, grow and abuse alcohol, and he is able to reflect on this, as you heard in his video. And that was, honestly, it scared me at first when I first heard this video. I might just scare you guys later when I say other things, but I'll leave that for later. Now we were going to be watching Father Sheely as he gives the church's, or a man of the church's, opinion on alcohol. So here we go.
Alcohol. The psalmist says, the Lord gave us bread to strengthen us and wine to cheer our hearts. And he repeated that line. St. Paul told St. Timothy, take a little wine for your stomach. The church does not have a problem with alcohol in and of itself. Like many other things, it's a question of, are you going to abuse something that is good? That becomes a fifth commandment issue. If you take in too much alcohol, especially if you know that you might be alcoholic or you have it in your family, there's a genetic component there, that's a fifth commandment life issue. You could be harming your own life by overindulging, especially if you know you're prone to alcoholism. Someone in high school, okay, fine, there's no alcoholism in my family. What's wrong with it? Well, it's a fourth commandment issue right now. The rules say, gotta wait till you're 21. So that's the rules. And I'll be honest, I have met 15-year-olds who could probably handle alcohol better than 25-year-olds. But society says, in general, you gotta wait till you're a little bit older, more mature to handle it. So it becomes, right now, for anybody, it's a fourth commandment issue. Again, is it immoral? It depends on the circumstances. Are you breaking rules? It's immoral now because you're breaking rules. Are you harming yourself? Now it's immoral because you're harming yourself. Or potentially, if you're drunk and stinking drunk and driving, harming others. So is it immoral? It depends. Look at the circumstances.
Okay.
And Father Sheely basically wraps up all the interviews for right now. But there's one more topic I would like to talk about before I leave you in the capable hands of this murder. It's drunk driving. A lot of you do know about this, but I actually want to tell you a few things I learned, because before I started this project I did not know many things. One thing I did learn a little bit about it. First off, I will be showing a little bit of statistics here. In 2011, 1.2 million drivers were arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol or the narcotics. Men, every guy in the room, we are more likely to drink and drive than women. It is scientifically proven. The rate of drunk driving is highest among 21 to 25-year-olds. That's about 23.4%. That's scary. In fatal crashes in 2011, the highest percentage of drunk drivers was the drivers aged 21 to 24. That is about 32%. Followed by ages 25 to 34. That's 30%. And 35 to 44. That's 24%. Anyway, these are all statistics that are 100% fact. I got them off websites. I got them off driver's education websites. These are real, and these numbers have slowly escalated, and they are not getting better. They're actually getting worse because people are ignoring the warnings of experienced drivers. They're ignoring the warnings of alcohol, and they do it. The Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, they actually want people to follow a program called the Designated Drivers Program. Basically, if you are a drinker and you're gonna go out drinking, you should bring at least one person to come along with you who is not going to drink. They want you to bring that person along who will drive for you to get you home safely. That way you are not causing harm to anybody around you, anybody who may be in the car with you, and anybody you could potentially hurt in your depressed state. It's very sad to lose anybody, especially a friend, a family member, anything. Okay, not to totally depress you, but that's all I have to say. But I want you to think about one thing. I want you to think how has this video changed the way you look at alcohol? Has it scared you? Like, I kind of want you to a good thing or a bad thing. I just want you to think about this for a little while. Okay. There's just one last thing I wanted to show you guys before you left. There is a video I found on YouTube that more pertains to the abuse of alcohol for teens. This is a video I found. There isn't any real alcohol involved, but it does show you of what real teenagers will do, such as yourselves. So I thought this would be a neat little way to end the video, just to show you what real people do in alcoholic situations. Okay, here we go.
I'm naked, I'm numb, I'm stupid, I'm staying. And if Cupid's got a gun, then he's shooting. Life's black, heads bang, you're my drug, we live it. You're drunk, you need it. Real love, I give it. So we're bound to linger on. We drink the fatal drop, then love until we bleed, then fall apart in part. You wasted your turns on my heart, you burn. And if bridges gotta fall, then you fall too. Doors slam